Hello everyone. Welcome to my own corner of YouTube. The reason why I'm coming to you guys today is because I picked up a new game called Pathfinder Kingmaker, and with the release, possibly of the beta of Pathfinder Path of the Righteous, I felt it's better for me to, get to understand the first game they produced before looking into the second game. Now, I'm somebody who's coming from Divinity Original Sin and Pillars of Eternity. And I would tell you this. No, sorry. Yeah, so Divinity Original Sin, Pillars of Eternity, and Tyranny. So I can say that I understand some level of RPG. And the first game that actually brought me into the RPG genre is Dragon Age Origin, the best game that has stood the ends of time for me. But that's not what I'm here to discuss. I'm here to discuss about Pathfinder Kingmaker, and I'm basically making this video for newcomers because it was a very big change for me. They threw a lot of information at you and they don't give you room to really understand it. And a lot of times when people are trying to play this game, you're gonna find out that people are reading a lot just to get in. And that was the biggest problem I had, trying to understand what the game had and possibly trying to understand what are the best things to pick up and where to go, and I would say it was very difficult for me. So I just wanted to create this video to help newcomers who are coming in to get an easier foot into the door. There's too many crap out on YouTube, especially with the nerds out there who have so much information but do not know how to give it. And I'm not going to sit down here and say I'm of that category, that I know how to give it, but I'm just simply saying that these are some of the things that will help you as you navigate your way around the game. So the moment you come in, you're excited, you want to go in and start playing the game, I would advise you not to do that. The first thing you want to do is go into settings. Okay? Once you come into settings, the music is going to be loud. It's going to be blaring. It's going to be hitting you from sideways to Sunday. What you want to do is go down to sound and reduce this. Okay? So let's look at this. The songs are playing somewhere. There you go. So bring it down. Bring it all down. So for this, bring it down and then try to make it to what you want, what you desire, what your ears can handle. Okay? Now, a lot of the times the characters in the game say the same thing over and over again, and someone like me who plays turn-based, because I enjoy the turn-based in this game, not the action-based, because when you're playing the how would I say, when you're playing the game as a real time with pause, you're more or less like a, how would I put it now, all your characters quickly devolve into two things, that is melee and range. That's all they'll be doing. They're not really using their spell. You're not really using tactics. You're not using anything other than, oh, let's rush this group of people and do this, let's rush these people and do that. But when you're playing in turn-based mode, you can basically understand how the feats you've picked up in the game affect your characters, each of them. Okay, when you're doing that, you can also see how certain abilities that you picked up for your mages actually help in making sure that your character can deal the most amount of damage. There are too many people on YouTube that don't know the shit they're talking about. Okay, but I only found one person who knows how to build characters so far, and that is Brother Mutant or something like that. Brother Mutant. I've forgotten his name, but he basically gave me a couple of pointers regarding how to build your character. So if you listen to him, he definitely points you in the right direction. But when you start to play the game, you begin to understand a couple of things, and then you can make the best decision. But here's the situation: since you're going to be playing turn-based, if you want to play turn-based like I do, go ahead and click this frequency of character voice here. Okay, put it all the way to occasional, so that way they're not always talking. All right, and then you're done with this part. Now, the next thing you want to do, graphics depends on you. Whatever you want to do, that's on you. Okay. Now, game. Once you enter into game, what you want to do is remove the auto save enabled. You gotta remove that. It's very important. Okay, remove that. Learn to manually save when you can, because sometimes they might save at the wrong moment and you're gonna have problems. Okay, so always cancel out the save by going to this. Secondly, the font size. The font size can be quite small. And let me put it like this for you. If you're straining your eyes to read the text, because there's going to be a lot of text reading, please increase the font size so you don't have to visit the doctor often. Okay? Because if you're going to spend as much time as most people spend in this game, you might as well not be straining one part of your body. So increase the font size all the way to 12. Even though it's big, but at least your eyes won't be strained to read everything because you're trying to soak in the lore. Okay, I'm helping you guys out. That's the whole purpose of what I'm doing. Your save slots. This game is so buggy. Okay, there's a lot of bugs in this game. Increase the save slots so that way you have a lot of saves. If one gets corrupted, you can go back and then go back to a save that was better. Okay, and then continue again from there. That way you're not losing a lot. And I would actually ask you to invest in an external hard drive. Okay, that way you can put as much as you want in there. Okay, and not feel as if it's bugging down your whole system. All right. Many of the other things will be there. Okay, so a couple of other things again. I often like it when to pause the game when a trap is detected. I want it also to pause the game when a hidden object is detected, because sometimes your characters might find a hidden object and they will say something, and then you keep trying to find out where the hidden object is. But when you pause the game, when you say pause the game when a hidden object is detected, the game immediately pauses, and then you can look around to see where it's highlighted. Okay, it's very, very important. And then pause when the combat starts is very important also for your turn-based distance. Okay. All right, the rest you can off, and then okay, this one too. Pause when parties attacked. Okay. So sometimes if your perception is not high enough, a rogue can get into your backline and do a lot of damage. So you want to always pause at the sign of any attack. That way you already know, hey, someone's attacking us. Because sometimes you don't know, your guy will be dying at the back and you won't even know what's going on. So trust me on this one, it's best for you to do that. Okay, now since you guys are going to be playing in turn-based mode, okay, that's if you're playing in turn-based mode, I want you to increase this party animation. Okay, that way you are not spending too much time waiting for somebody to run to someone and hit. No, all the animations are done fast. If they have to move to somebody to hit the person, it's done fast. So you're not spending an hour on a fight. You're spending less than a minute or two on a fight. Okay, so it's very fast. So you can increase this even all the way to whatever number you want, and it'll be so fast you can't even see anything, right? But this is where I like it. This way, if I see a damage that I don't understand how that damage occurred, I can immediately react to it and say, okay, yes, we have a problem here. How did I get this? What were the feats that happened? And I can immediately spot it, and that way I can spot good feats that I want to use in my next playthrough. Okay. Also do that for the enemy, so the enemy is not wasting your time trying to cast their own spells, because spell casting can be very, very slow in this game. I always like to display the HP of the enemies. That way I know whether I'm going to fight them or not. All right. So that's going to be it. All right, so now we're just gonna go straight into the game, and there's a couple of things I just wanted to show you guys. Now, here's the situation. All right, there's a very, very important thing that you need to know. The first thing is, when you're traversing any area, okay, always have your hand on your tab button. Your tab button is going to allow you to be able to see objects around, okay? So that way you're not running around saying, oh, whether I saw it or I didn't see it. No, if you have your hand always on the tab button, you're able to see everything that's going on. All right? Now, this is the first place you're required to go to, okay? It's called Oleg's Fort, okay? So here, basically, you're gonna come in, you're gonna do whatever you need to do, and let's just be frank, there's not much to say here. All right, but what I want you guys to understand is this, and I'm gonna go straight to this. What's this character? Okay, now I want you guys to look at this. As I'm trying to leave, all right, it shows me objects that I had put in a box. All right, this box in itself is somewhere in Oleg's fort. All right, let me show it to you. This box right here. Okay, so let's just say you're running around the world and you want to keep something that you want, right? You don't know whether to sell it. This is where you keep everything. All right, you will not lose it, and everything that you keep in this box will be transferred to your kingdom, okay, or transferred to any other box that you can keep stuff inside. Okay, now here's the situation. In this box, I have a couple of items here. You see items that say a moment of good times past, a well-garnered antiquities, collector might pay handsomely for it. Anything you see that the collector might pay handsomely for it, or they say it's something that like anything that you see that says collector might pay handsomely for it, a merchant might pay handsomely for it. All right, these kind of things are things that when you go to your own kingdom, you can sell at a higher price. I just discovered it recently. I didn't know, and I was selling it for all this cheap amount. You know, $2, 2 grams or whatever it is. Don't sell it here. Sell it once you enter into your kingdom. This one too, all right. This one also gives you a good amount of stuff. If you can get all of them, that'd be nice. But you get a lot of money for selling all these unique items, whereby they say a merchant will pay a high price for them. Do not sell it to Oleg or any other person. Do not sell it. And normally it comes underneath this thing. So you see mine here, right underneath these notables. Exactly. Just put them in there. Just the notables. Okay. You're gonna get good money for them later on. All right. All right. All right. So since we're here now, I want to show you guys a couple of things. All right. So this is almost what you're greeted with in almost every game, right? This is how you come into the game and you begin to explore and you begin to ask yourself, okay, what's going on, this and that. Well, here's the situation, guys. I want you guys to take a note, okay, of this stats right here. Strength is only for when you're about to hit somebody, okay, when you're using strength-based weapons such as melee weapons, okay? Certain melee weapons are strength-based. So those strength-based things are things like, if you look at certain weapons, they're not going to have what we call the finesse associated with them. Okay? So let's just say something like this. This would be a strength-based weapon, right? So basically, if I hit somebody with this, I might not be doing enough damage because I don't have enough strength. Okay? I don't know whether it's a strength. It might be a strength. But normally, spears are supposed to be finesse. But anyway, let's keep that out of the question. Here's the situation, guys. Strength is for strength-based weapons. Dex is for dex-related weapons like kukris, daggers. You've seen them. You've been around them. Rapiers. They're all dex-based weapons. The con has to do with your life, right? The intelligence has to do with the amount of skills you might have. Okay, skill points that you might have. So intelligence is related to that. Your wisdom also. Some characters require it in order to be able to cast well, like clerics, the druids. And your charisma is something that some of the characters use when they are in the kingdom. They use it to rule. They use it to make decisions. Someone like Valerie, she uses it to make decisions. Okay? So, what I want to tell you is this. For you to be able to hit a character from a distance, be it with your magic or with a ranged weapon, you need your dexterity. I repeat, you need your dexterity in order to be able to do this. Alright? So your dexterity must not be less than 13 to 14. 14 is the sweet spot. From 14 upwards, your character can hit with a ranged weapon. Okay? Now, I want you also to look at this here. If you hover around this, you can see what is actually being calculated in order to get your total value of attack. Okay? And you can test this out with different weapons. You can test it out with different weapons by doing this. Going over here, you see? My attack has changed. Alright? It tells you what is being added to it. So these are some of the best ways for you to know whether strength is affecting it or whether the dexterity is affecting it. You understand what I'm saying? So you can see this too. I just switched over to the bow. It's my dexterity that's affecting it. Okay, so this is my dexterity of +4. Look at it right there. Alright, so see it? So it's not as if I'm doing any kind of magic here. I'm telling you what it is. Now, throughout the game, you're going to see certain things called masterwork. You're going to see composite. Okay, like you see here, it says composite short bow. You can see a short spear +1. Now, what masterwork also is a +1 weapon. Okay, so as you can see that I'm added to this, right? As you can see, this is a masterwork light bow. If you go over here, it says +1 because of the masterwork light bow. Okay, if I go to this composite bow, you can see this composite bow says +1, right? Composite bow. You can see over here it says +1 because it's the composite bow, is a composite short bow +1. That is why it is. So it's almost equivalent to a masterwork bow. That's what it is. Just simple as that. Okay? So let me repeat that again. This is a masterwork, which will always mean +1 damage. Okay? Even though it does not indicate that there, it is a +1 damage to these kinds of bow. This one shows it directly here, but it's just saying +1, so it tells you exactly what it is. Now, I want you to look at these two numbers. This number says 1 to 8 damage, right? If you look at the bottom, after the 1 to 8 damage, it says 1d8 pierce, right? When you see something that says 1d8, it means 1 times 8. Okay, I'll repeat that again. When you see something says 1d8, it means 1 times 8. Okay, so that means 1 times 8 is equal to 8, right? So that means it's going to give you a damage from 1 to 8. That's what it means. Okay, now see this here. It says 1d6, right? 1d6. That means 1 times 6. That means it's going to be a weapon that does the damage from 1 to 6. So it's 1 times 6. That means any weapon from 1 to 6. And then it says at the bottom +1. So here's how it's going to roll the damage for you. Okay, when you throw the dice, it's going to say anywhere from 1 to 6, right? So let's just say you rolled a 5, right, on that, right? Now it's going to be a 5 and then plus 1. So you're always guaranteed a plus 1. That plus 1 is equivalent to a 2, right? But it's not being added directly to the 1d6. So let's just say you see a weapon that says 2d6. 2d6 is better than 1d6 plus 1, okay? Because the addition is happening after the multiplication, not before it, okay? So let's just understand this. 1d6 is on its own, then plus 1. So anything you roll between 1 to 6, you're always going to add a 1 to it. If you see a weapon that says 2d6, okay, it means 2 times 6. So that means when you roll, you're going to roll anywhere from 2 to 12. Okay? So that means you have opened past the 10 barrier. Unlike a 1d6 plus 1, you're only going to be, the highest you can go is a 7 damage. Alright? That's the highest. And that's why they put it on top there. The damage is 2 to 7. So now that you can understand some of these things, you can begin to look at some of your weapons in that fashion. Okay? The same thing here too. It's a 1d6 plus 1. So the highest we can roll is a 7. That's why they give you from 2 to 7. So even if you rolled a 1, when you're rolling the 1d6, you have to add plus 1, which gives you the 2. So the lowest you can go is a 2. That's what it means. You can never roll a 0 because it didn't say 0d6. Are you beginning to understand what's going on here? So for those people who are still trying to understand what's going on, I'm just trying to help you guys out to make sure that you understand what's really going on here. Okay, when it comes to all these parts here, I don't really know much about it. All right, I don't really know much about it. I'm still studying it. I'm not going to talk about it, but I do know that they are related to these areas here: the con, the wisdom, the charisma. It all has to do with it. I know Fortitude will have to deal with the con, but for undead characters, I think it has to do with the charisma. Okay, because undead characters don't have any numbers for their con. I think they depend on the charisma for that. And you know, Fortitude is basically how well your body is, your conditioning. Are you an athletics? You know how strong you are when you're dealing with certain things. Reflex has to do with your dodge ability, and I believe it's coming from the dexterity. Okay, so they even put it up here. Okay, never mind. All right, so Constitution has everything to do with the Fortitude, right? The reflex is the dexterity, right? And then your will comes from your wisdom. So now you guys can understand some of these things here, okay? And the reason why you're having the +1 to resistance is because of the cloak. So I'm learning as I'm talking here, which is really good. So hey, we're all learning here too. What other area do I want to talk about? I want to talk about the abilities. Now, here's the situation, guys. When I first got into the game, I hated this game. Why? Because I didn't feel like a mage. It was one of the biggest things that I had, one of my biggest pet peeves with this game. It pissed me the hell off. But I sooner discovered that the best way to make your character a good mage from the get-go, to be able to use certain abilities, is to, number one, select a spell focus. Select spell focus, right? And take a focus of either evocation or transmutation, whichever one you want to use, depending on your build. It is very, very important that you select one of these things. All right, they are going to make sure that whenever you use one of the cantrips, okay, from your school, so the cantrip is going to be this. Hang on, let me get out of the screen. The cantrips are this. All right, here are the cantrips, right? So whenever you use one of these cantrips, all right, if like for instance now, this is an evocation spell. Whenever I use Ray of Frost, Okay, the damage I do is almost equivalent to using a bow. It might not reach a bow, but I can tell you that the damage is more consistent. That means I'm hitting about a 10, 12 whenever I do something called a sneak damage. Now, as you can see, if you read the instructions over here, right, over at the bottom, you see they say the ray deals 1d3 points of cold damage. All right. So what does that mean? Anywhere from 1 to 3 is what this spell is going to do. However, there are things called sneak damage. Okay? Now, here's the situation, guys. I want you guys to pay attention to this. When you get, let me see what I'm able to see. Okay, so now, when you dip into a rogue class, you get a sneak damage. Okay? Well, according to this, basically, a sneak damage occurs when either the enemy is flat-footed. What do they mean by flat-footed? Flat-footed means they are not ready for you yet. They have not seen you yet. They have not had the opportunity to make an attack, or they've not had their own turn. Okay, so that's what it means to be flat-footed. Okay, so when somebody is flat-footed, you also, in addition to your 1d3, you're also getting your 1d6 extra damage. Okay, so now you're getting up to 9. And let me put it like this for you. Sometimes the sneak damage is crazy, and there are numerous times you're gonna get the criticals, right? Which is gonna take you almost up to 17 sometimes. You know, and this is a level 4 character doing almost that amount with the cantrip. You know, so it almost makes my bow obsolete. My bow doesn't have consistent damage. Sometimes it will do a 3, sometimes it will do a 12. But this one gives me consistent damage every time whenever I position my character, plus his initiative allows my character to always deal out damages anywhere from 8 to sometimes 17. I could not believe it when I first saw it. And it's all because of this sneak damage. And depending on how you build your character, if you have additional sneak dice, I think it increases the amount. Now, the character that I'm trying to build is actually an Arcane Trickster. And I actually named him somehow. But it's an Arcane Trickster. An Arcane Trickster also gets the sneak dice too. And that is what I'm trying to build into it. However, I took the rogue one level in rogue because of the sneak die. Now you can get the normal rogue, but I like this rogue because of the frightening. That is why I want people away from me. I don't want them crowding, my business. So I want to be able to, cause them to be frightened and to move away from me. That's why I took the one level in rogue, the frightening. All right. Where was that in again? Okay, so how do you make sure that somebody always hits? Okay, how do you make sure that someone always hits when they're using ranged weapons? There's a couple of ways, and the game tries to point you in that direction. You have to have a dex that is 13 or higher. Normally, it should be at 14. Put it at 14. So a dex of 13 or higher, in order to hit, but 14 will make your hitting a little bit more consistent, right? You have to get what do you call it again? There's another weapon called. I think Lindsay would have it. Looks like I didn't even pick it up for my people. But it has to do with two things basically. It has to do with the point blank shot, And the other one is a point blank shot just gives you +1 bonus on attack and damage rolls with ranged weapons up to 30 feet. But for me, I don't think it's necessary for you to have this. But the other one is, I've forgotten what it's called, is it precise shot or whatever it is. But one of those though. Point blank shot is very important. If you can get that, that would be great. But where things start getting a little bit crazy is this. Is this apart? Is this amount? When you get this accomplished sneak attack, that is when the damage starts going off. I don't know why it gives me the sneak attack of 1. Maybe I'm not building it right. I don't know. But the damage has been crazy because of it. So for me, I think this is the best way to build your mage. Okay? If you want to keep your mage at the back, you want to make sure that your mage continues to use the cantrips for damage. And also you want to, how would I put it now? You want to be able to ditch your, what do you call it again? Your bow, all right? To be using just your cantrips. That is great, all right? That is great. And again, the sneak attack also affects your Hand of Apprentice if you go the Universalist build, because you get this also. It also affects it. So for Hand of Apprentice, you can always throw your daggers, or you can throw your any kind of weapon you have on you, and I usually use that. I usually take a heavy weapon, a weapon that can cause a lot of damage, and then I just throw it. I don't stick with it. So this is more like throwing daggers or something like that. Okay, that's what this one does. So if you go to Universalist build, you can always throw daggers. You can always throw any kind of weapon you have in your hand, which is good, just in case somebody came close to you and they're about to hit you. If you try to move, this would be the best thing. All right. I think that's all I wanted to talk about regarding all of this. All right, so the next part I want you guys to pay attention to is to always go line by line for any class you want to pick up, okay? And whenever you go to any line, or maybe you want to spend more time to read that line, just right click it. That way it comes up, okay? Just right click it. Any line that you want to really look at, you right click it and then look at that line. All right, so that way you know what spells are coming up, and then you can make your character according to how you want your character to be. So you know that the next level, I'm going to pick up this, I'm going to pick up that, whatever it is. Just make sure that you right click any area that you don't understand what's going on, and then try to understand it, so that way you can plan out your characters properly, and you don't feel like as if you're being thrown with the wind. I don't know how to put it, but you don't want to feel like as if you're being tossed around. All right, I think that's about it. Okay, another part is this: when you're playing the wizard, you want to make sure that at least you memorize, pick up a couple of spells you want, okay? But at least get at least 2 to 3 versions of them on there. All right, it's very imperative that you do that, because if you take only one for one, you're never really going to enjoy the spells. You're not going to do that. All right, you're not really going to enjoy the spells. So I want you guys to form the habit of not just selecting one, but selecting multiple of that one. So if there's a spell you want to have more of, it's best for you to have them. The reason why I select the enlarged person and the grease is because this grease allows me to take down bosses that far exceeds my level. It puts them down regardless of whatever level you are. It brings them down. Many of the time they always fail their reflex save. All right, no matter the difficulty, for some reason they always fail their reflex save. So this grease is a cheat bug in the game, and that's how I normally try to go to areas that I shouldn't be going to early in order to take care of them. So this will help you significantly when you're playing on unfair difficulty. All right, I think that's about it for me. Okay, I need to go over to another area. All right, one thing you guys have to understand is that Tristan is a better healer than Harim. I don't care what the internet says. I've played the campaign all the way from the beginning to killing the Stag Lord, and I can tell you this: Tristan makes for a better healer than Harim. Tristan's heal is a cheat, basically. Whenever this guy heals, he tops you off with his abilities. Okay, he tops you off with his abilities, especially this channeling positive distance. He tops you off real good. You know, it takes almost like a moderate. Each of his healing is almost like a moderate cure wound. All right, which is like double the price of Harim's. And I think the reason why he gets that is because he has a channeling feat. I think that's a channeling feat he has. There's a channel ability he has. Extra channeling. Yep, that's it. It is this feat that allows him, plus this feat also, extra magic and extended spell, that allows him to basically just heal enormously. It's crazy, you know. And Harim doesn't have this. Harim is the other healer. I don't know whether I've gotten him to camp. I think he should be here. Okay, it's not accessible to me. Yeah, it's because of these 2 feet that allows him to be a very good healer. So try and pick him up as early as you can from his location. Don't pick up Harim. Pick this guy up from the temple. I think the Elk Temple or something like that. That's where he's going to be. So try and pick him up then. Because if you pick up Harim, when you meet this guy, let's just say he's going to be in bed until the 2nd chapter. And there's a high possibility that you're not going to see, I mean, basically use him. So try and use him when you get him. I think that's about it for this part. Alright, so I'm gonna go all the way down here. I think there's a lot that I've covered already with this. Okay, now we're going to go over to the map. Don't pick up anything. This is from the box. I kept everything in there so I can sell them later on. And this part just tells me that it's from something that I've not picked up yet. I've not picked it up because it's not worth anything. Now I want you guys to look at something. Okay, you see how it says £5 to 1 amount of money. Do not ever pick up items that give you this raw deal. This is a very bad deal. If you're going to pick up an item, the item must always be either 1-to-1 or 2-to-1. That means the amount of money you get from it must be 2 times its weight. Look at this now. Its weight is £2, but it gives me 100 G. Why wouldn't I pick this before I pick up anything else? Right? Look at this. £15 for 600. I mean, man, that's a beautiful deal. There is no way I'm going to pass that up. £3 for 600. I mean, come on, please. I mean, you guys are getting the picture here. £3 for 100. I believe you guys are getting the picture. So don't pick up anything that has too much pounds. Okay? If it has too much pounds, drop it. Alright? Don't use it. Unless, let's just say, you're trying to get back home and you have nothing more to carry and you're halfway or maybe a quarter way, you're running empty, trying to go back home to go and sell. Then you can go ahead and pick up things that weigh a lot in order to sell. But other than that, they're not worth it. Should be told. Alright. I want to show you guys the map and how to run on this so that you don't get angry, so that you can level up accordingly and be level 4 at least before you reach the Stag Lord. And here's the kicker, guys. When you press J, when you press J, you can see on here, when I go to the Stolen Lands, I have 39 days to go. Alright? Now, if you do this in 2 months, right? Because basically they give you 3 months to take care of the Stag Lord, which is supposed to be 90 days, right? If you finish the Stag Lord quest with greater than 30 days to go, you get a special item. I think it's a duelist sword or whatever it is. I think it might be about 600 or maybe 2000. I don't know. However, if you want to sell it, that's good money. If you know you're creating a character that is going to use the dueling swords, then you need to pick it up because it's a great sword. I think it's a +2 to attack or something like that. So you get that. Okay, it's something that you can pick up if you want to. All right. Now, if you look at my map, right, everything has opened up. So the only thing left now is to go take care of the Stag Lord right there. That's the only thing that's left now for me to do. Alright? And I've covered all these areas in less than that amount. In fact, I've been playing around this map. I've played around this map twice already. And I have 39 days to go. I could have finished it much more earlier, but I just wanted to make sure that I level up all my characters. I want to make sure I leveled up all my characters to level 4. As you can see, all of them level 4, right? So you even have the ability to be level 5. As you can see, I need over 1,000. Okay, I mean 1,300 and something, 360 something, in order to get to, level 5. And I can get that. I think I can get close to that amount if I go ahead and finish up the Stag Lord quest. Now, here's the situation, guys. When you start off the game, I want you guys to understand one thing. Alright? Do not, under any circumstance, go to the Ancient Tomb first. Do not go to the Ancient Tomb first. Okay? If you go to the Ancient Tomb first, alright, here's what's gonna happen. After you get a character from the Ancient Tomb, which is good, right? Making your 5th character. Once you get a character from the Ancient Tomb, like I said earlier on, do not take Karim. He's a bad healer. When you go over to the Ancient Tomb, the first thing you want to do is to go with the area that has the bigger footprint. Okay? Do not go to the area that has a smaller footprint. If you go to the area that has a smaller footprint, you're going to come to the Pine Patch. That's where you're going to be, because then you're going to meet another character again that's in the game, right? That you're chasing down. You do not want to do this, because once you do this, a lot of things will be missed in here, in this old sycamore, right? You don't want to do that. So if you go here, the one thing you need to do is not, and I repeat, not follow the area with the small footprints, because it will lead you to here. What you want to do is go to the area with the big footprints so that you can meet a certain new enemy and then kill them off. But your priority is to come down here. Now, once you come down here, you're going to see so many level 1 and level 2 monsters here. There's so many of them. Okay? Now, those monsters will all be missing if you go over here. If you find yourself here, all those monsters will be missing, so you're going to lose out on XP. Do not do it. Alright? So, like I always say, you might go here, but always follow the large footprint once you get out. So that way you don't end up here. You want to come over here. You want to kill every monster out there that is level 1, 2 through 2. Right? You're going to see so many of them. Many tigers, many pelts, whatever it is. Kill them off. You're going to get so much XP from that. What you want to do once you get out of there is to walk all the way to this area, which is the waterlogged Roland. But the reason why I won't advise you to go into this area is because you need to be level... No, you should be level 2 by then. Yes, you should be level 2. Okay, yeah, you can go into it and you're going to get some XP for it. Just don't kill the evil god, because if you kill the evil god, then you're going to have a -2 to your constitution. Do not do it. So go over there, leave the evil god alone, and then level up to 3. You're going to be level 3 by then. Go over to here. The reason why I want you to be level 3 is because there's so many boxes that are locked here in the Nettles Crossing. So many closed boxes. What you want to do is save before you try to open up those boxes, okay? Use the character with the highest trickery to get all those boxes and great loot. There are going to be so many things you want to sell. Once you're done with that, you go all the way up here. Now, I would advise you to go into Two Rivers. The reason is because in Two Rivers, you're going to have a level 10 monster there. Now, I managed to kill the level 10 monsters on my own playthrough, right? At level 3. I managed to kill this because I understood how to mix my mage, my bard up. So I was able to do it. But I wouldn't advise any other person to do it unless you know what spells to use. And like I said, if you have grease on you, if you look at my bard, if you look at her spell book, what does she have? She has grease there too. So I use grease to kill a level 10 at my lower level, at level 3. So you might be able to do so, but grease is always what you use to cheat. That's how I do it. You have to always cheat with grease. Alright? If you do that, you're going to get a lot of XP. And then you can go all the way to Fangberry Cave to deal with whatever you want to do. Deal with Fangberry Cave to do a quest. And then you go over to the Endless Plain to also kill another level 6 monster at level 3. Which is going to be easy for you if you're lucky. Alright? Once you kill this monster, now you want to go ahead and start exploring. Now, I'm going to put it this for you. Before you come out here, try and buy as many potions as you can. If you follow my walkthrough, you won't even need those potions. The only problem you're going to be having is exhaustion problems. Exhaustion. That's it. Now, once you're done with this, okay? Once you're done with this, in fact, you don't even need to go here. If you wanted to, alright, you could go back. You can go all the way back here. Okay, hold on. So once you go over here, once you're done with the Endless Plain, you come on out. And now you can go to the Ancient Tomb if you wanted to. That's the best time to go to it. Right? Alright. If you don't want to, all you need to do, because here's the thing, if you do the Fangberry, you're gonna be on the clock. Alright? So since you're gonna be on the clock, you need to go back to Oleg's post. Whether you like it or not, if not, the Fangberry is gonna be useless. It's gonna be rotten by the time you get to this thing. And so the character will say no, he doesn't want the Fangberry to be rotten. He wants it fresh. So only get the Fangberry when you're about to leave the cave, and then get it to Oleg fresh. That way you can complete the quest. Now, since you're back here, you might as well buy your potions. You buy whatever items you need, but I'll advise you to stock up on potion. Now, at this point, you might have an undead character with you. Alright? So you might want to stock up on the injury potions also. From here, you want to make your way all the way to here, the abandoned hut. Alright? Once you finish with the abandoned hut, you walk all the way here to the Temple of Ilk. The reason why you want to get to the Temple of Ilk is so that you can get Harim. Alright? Now, I think I'm missing something here. Sorry. Alright, before you do that, you need to go this. Okay, so you go over here, and then you go to the Ton Fort. You need to be at the Ton Fort. Alright? The reason why you want to be at the Ton Fort is because you have to get Jehan. It's a character that you have to get. So you need to be at the Ton Fort, but you'll be at level 3. The characters there are going to all be level 2s, and they're going to, one is going to be level 3. So you're going to make quick work of them. Right? So once you get that, you're going to get someone called Jehan. Once you get Jehan, you go back and talk with Jehan if you want to. But I didn't do that. When you get to here, once you get to here, you can either go up here, or to make it easy for yourself, you can go all the way to this technical league in order to grab another character if you want to. But that'll be wasting time. It's better for you to go back, talk to Jehod, whatever his name is, and then go over to here. And then from here, you walk all the way down, get this person here, and then go over here, and then you can now roam around, basically. So the reason why I'm saying all of this thing is very simple. The most important thing is this: you go from here to Old Sycamore, or you can stop by here. You can stop by here, get one character, and then go over here straight. Okay. Once you finish with this, you traverse this area, this whole area, go back home, right? Come down to turn here. Once you come down to turn, you can go back, all right? And then go from here to here to here, wherever it is, whatever suits your boat. Now, Old Oak, there's a couple of monsters in there in Old Oak. Old Oak is a level 4 and level 9, right? I think it's a level, yeah, I think, no. It's a level 4 and level 7 monster that is there. So you can go there, but I went there last. It's the last place that I left. So don't go there yet. The best place to go is this Boggart Hunting at level 3. Although they are level 4 monsters, you're going to make short work of them if you created your characters well. Alright? So that's basically it. The last place to go is the Old Oak and the Two River field. But if you're using grease, like I did, you can take them out at level 3, both of them, and you will still win the fights. The rest are just normal characters. This is going to be Amiri's quest. It's a long way there, but like I just said. Okay, so you don't need to go all the way right here to do anything. Once you get this place and then get this place, right? This pine patch, whatever. So when you go from here to here, you do the quest. You're gonna either choose to come back here, get the character from here, right? And then come down all the way here if you want to. But I usually like the big footsteps. I follow the big footsteps to get another set of fights, to get my XP. And then I look for this area and get another set of XP, and then come back to Old Sycamore again to get more XP. And that's how I do it, to gain so much XP, so that way I'm not wasting too much time. So if you just follow that route, that whole route, like by going here all the way up here to this place, then going back up here, right, following the big footprints, right? If you follow the big footprints, it will lead you somewhere else, and then you can find this one. All right, once you find this one here, get in there, and then you go back into this place again, and then you'll be overpowered for almost everything. You can either clear this place up or go around like I did. But by the time you go here and then come back here, you'll be level 3, and you'll be overpowered basically for the characters. You can clean up the caves, clean up everything that you need to clean up, and then come back and then go around like this. By the time you go around, I mean, it's almost the end of the game, and then you're able to go ahead and discover the Stag Lord. And that's about it. Alright? Now, let's see something else. There's another game I have. So just remember, perception actually affects your ability to hit. It's not only for concealment but also for hitting. So if your perception is high, you'll be able to hit more consistently. Always. Alright? So this is me with my own kingdom. I already have a kingdom here. Alright, so here's the kingdom area. In the kingdom, this is how I built my own. Now, as you can see, in the middle I have a barracks. Okay, the middle is a barracks. The reason why I picked up a barracks is because the barracks affects both the tavern and also the longhouse. Alright, now I can choose to actually put another tavern here, because a tavern, so if you look at the writing, it says I get +1 to relation when adjacent. Okay, adjacent, that means I'm sharing a block. When adjacent this way or adjacent that way, whenever I'm sharing a wall with another thing, I get a bonus. So it says the tavern, it says you get a +1 to relations when adjacent to a longhouse, and a +1 to espionage when adjacent a barracks. You see that you see that there? So I can put another tavern here. You don't have to put only one tavern. You can put multiple taverns. So in this situation, I had my barracks in the middle, right? I had my longhouse here, and then I had my and then possibly put the tavern here. Now you could either do it with the tavern, or you could do it with the barracks. You could put the tavern in the middle and do it with the barracks and a longhouse. Extra a barracks, a longhouse, and another longhouse, which won't work for you, or you can do 2 barracks. But I wanted to do only 1 barracks with the tavern. Now, either way, your tavern is one of the most, how would I put it now? I would say useful facility. Okay, everybody depends on this tavern. So in this case, you can see I put in 2 barracks. I put in 2 barracks, right? That's what I did in order to be able to get the tavern, to get extra on the tavern. The tavern is also next to a shop, right? And the shop needs to be next to a smithy in order to gain something on it. So that's how I built it, right? In case you wanted to know. So always think about it in terms of how can I maximize the buildings being next to each other. And you have to also ask yourself one thing: how does it affect everything that you have here? So anything you're looking for, always think about, or should I say plan it out, and ask yourself, what am I looking for, and how can I maximize what I get from it? Alright, so this is where you pick up the buildings, so on and so forth. Alright, now in terms of projects, I think these parts are easy for anyone to know. Alright, advisors. So far I only have 5 advisors, but if you look at the game, hang on, it says I don't have any treasurer available right now. If you look at the game, it gives you an opportunity to select who is the best person to lead. Get it out of here. Who is the best person to lead? You can either the Rengar or Aldori. I like Aldori. You know, I like some of the things that he's suggesting. So I decided to put him there. Just understand that you can always change these people up if you choose not to have them there. You can always change them up. Okay? Just make sure that you are not disagreeing a lot with what they're suggesting. Let's just say there's an idea that's coming up that you know you need somebody who's evil to take care of this situation. Like, let's just say you have a list of trolls that are coming up. Pick up Regonga, make him the general. I still might decide to do something a little bit more better, more good. But Regonga will have no mercy. He's going to slaughter those things and their children too, and their wives, whatever it is. He will slaughter everything. So if you want that kind of shorthand, well, you can change out your generals before you make a decision, okay? And also you can rank up each of your generals. You can rank up each of your generals, so just understand that. Okay, I think that's about it. There's nothing more I can tell you guys. Only that you guys should go ahead and have fun. Think about your builds. Oh, that's true. I'm going to show you guys one more thing. Arcane Trickster. Let's see where I leveled up. Where's my level up? Level up, level up, level up, level up, level up. Okay. Alright. Okay, so let's go to 3. Level up upgrade to 3. Alright, so here we are for leveling up. Now, like I said, before you select anything, you have to always think about what you're about to select. I've already taken 1 level in Rogue. I'm going to be taking 1 level in Wizard. Alright, so as you can see, only on my level 3, these are the spells that are available, right? On level 3 Wizard, right? On level 4, these are the only spells available. There's nothing available here. No spells. I don't think there's any spells. I don't know. So we're going to be a level 2 wizard now. So this is what we can expect. Nothing really. Alright. Alright, so here we go. Understand that perception and persuasion. Perception is related to your hitting. It's very, very important for you to have this thing up. Alright. If not, you're gonna find it very difficult to hit both with your arrows and even your melee. So perception is very important. You want to help reduce the amount of misses you have. All right. So because I'm trying to go for Arcane Trickster, I have to pick up all these skills that I want. Okay. Now here's the most important part, guys. So this is the precise shot I was trying to talk about. Alright? So, without this precise shot, you're always going to be taking a -4 penalty on every attack roll that you have. So it's very important, even for your mage, to have the precise shot. Okay? But I don't know why they require the point blank shot in order for you to enter into the precise shot. I hate it. Precise shot should always be available before the point blank shot. It should always be. So it's very important that you get this in order to also increase. Alright? You have to get this in order to increase your damage. So, like I told you earlier on, there are times that I was getting 12 just using my cantrips, my evocation cantrips, because I had a spell specialization, right? A spell focus. No, was it spell focus? Yeah, spell focus. I had a spell focus on evocation, and I think I can select another spell focus too. I can choose multiple, but I don't want to be selecting multiple. I just want to spell. Every time you do the spell focus, I think it adds a +1 to how much the enemy can resist it. It's a good way to do things, though. I think that's the best build for it, but however, I don't think it's the best one right now. So you can even do a greater spell focus if you wanted to, right? That way you can even cause more damage. But here's the situation, guys. This sneak attacker is a very good one. I don't know whether you're gonna get it later on. I don't know why it turns to this. Well, I don't know whether you get it later on. Maybe that's why it makes it a thumbs down. But you can see what I'm getting with, right? So you have all these things right here. Now, these thumbs down are usually things you're not supposed to get. Alright? It's not something that your character should be going for. It doesn't mean that your character cannot get it. It just means that it's not something approved for your character at this moment. Alright? So you can always get it. Now, here's the kicker, guys. I want you guys to always have this thing turned on. I want you guys to always have this place turned on, useful feature. Show unavailable. Okay? When you go to show unavailable, here are some of the things that you don't have that are available to you. These red things. Alright? The reason why you should always have this thing turned on is because of this. You can basically use this to determine where you want to go. Okay? And know what are some of the prerequisites to getting there. Alright? So without the prerequisites, you cannot get there. So if you can map your way to getting what you think you need, right? You can make a better build, something that does it great for you. It's not like dazzling display. You need a weapon focus. So you can see this. This dazzling display is something that you definitely need for your frontliners. Alright? That way they can frighten people away. It's always a good thing. Alright? This is very, very good. Now, many of the times you might ask yourself, why should I go around running after people? Well, it's very, very important. Right? It's very, very important, especially when you're dealing with bosses or whenever you're dealing with people who are attacking you guys, who are just, everywhere. Once your character does a dazzling display, right? Even your mages get some breathing room to be able to do what they're supposed to do. That's the important thing. There's some places that don't call for it, but you get the picture, right? So when you have this activated, you're able to map out what you want. I want the strength of 15. I want an improved unarmed strike, and then I get into the dragon style. What does the dragon style offer you? Well, it depends on you. But from what I'm seeing here, it looks like it's something for a monk. Okay, how quickly can you get to this level? How quickly can you build that character? And that's why many of the times when people are playing on fair difficulty, they don't want to use the characters that have already been created in the game. They want to go ahead and create their own mercenary and then walk through the game with it. So that's about it. But you guys have already gotten all the tips and tricks associated with the game. It's always good for you guys to always get into the game and just start playing. All this reading is not something that you want to do, especially with a lot of people on the internet that are giving very bad information. I also want to touch on something here. This Meta Magic Extend spell, like I showed you, one other cleric had it, and that cleric is just doing so much healing. Okay, so let's just say you're going into the evocation, which is dealing with very powerful damage spells. You want to empower those spells, either you want to empower them or you want to maximize them. You do whatever you need to do. Yeah, either you want to maximize them or you want to empower them. I don't know. So if you want also the spell to reach certain distances that it wouldn't normally do, you can always do that. So, but the thing about it is that I don't like to pick up any of these spells because you have something called rods, which you can use to either use these spells. But when it comes to something like a cleric, I always say always have that extend spell distant slot taken, because then you can always make sure that it heals for more. How much it does, so it lasts twice as long. So it's always good for them to have those ones. All right, it's with me. I think I've said enough to get you guys into the game, to basically go out there and have fun and enjoy yourself. Just remember how to go around the map, and you would have up to 60 days left. Okay, so this is an earlier save, so you can see I'm right here. I'm just coming out, and I'm entering into which level now? It's going to be, I'm entering into level 3. So you can see I just finished the first part. I've not even got to show yet. I found the location and I decided not to go in, but you get the picture here. You definitely as you can see, this old sycamore has already been activated. That means I've already gone in here. Okay, so yeah, so I've already gone in here and come out. So this has already been activated. But prior to that, this area hasn't been gone into. So I've just finished this area. I just finished killing everything in here that was low level. Came out, went over to this waterlogged lowlands, right? And I'm already level 3. So now I have to go back in and finish up everything that's in there again, you know, and kill them off. And hopefully I don't need any other thing. Okay, as you can see, Technique League is still on. The hut is also on, and I'm already level 3, guys. All right, so you can see that this is an earlier save. So I've already gone in here, came out, and I'm level 3. Just imagine that. So you can imagine the amount of XP. How many days do I have left on this one? I have 75 days left. Okay, and that was while I was learning to understand, okay, where do I need to go, how do I need to go about it, and whatnot. So you still have 75 days left, so there's a lot of time for you to go around here. All right, and if you move efficiently, as I told you guys, yeah, you can basically make it in more than 30 days to spare. Like where I am right now, I have 45 days or so left, right? Was it 39 days? 39 days left. And I would have had more if not because I was messing around along the whole map, you know, trying to figure out a couple of other things. So I can see this other part is not, this endless plane where I go ahead and meet another monster again has not been done. Fangberry Cave has been done. The water whatever has not been done. The river, 2 rivers have not been done yet. So we're just coming out as level 3. So you can see that. Alright guys, it's been a blast. I think I'm gonna have to call it a day here. Thank you for coming out and hanging out with me. It's your guy, Game Odyssey, with you, bringing you more content, and I hope that as this game continues, we can learn more and hopefully share with the community. Until then, guys, take it easy, stay safe with the COVID situation, and I wish you guys luck on your playthroughs if you ever do so. Alright, bye.